This Leafs trade rumor is shocking everybody, as well as we have a wild trade update on Sens defenseman Jacob Chychrun, and I'll break it all down for you coming up on this episode of Hattrick HQ. Before we get into it, we're proud to announce that once again, this video is brought to you from our friends at rentals.ca, and moves are coming. With all the rumors and reports that have been coming out around the league, fans have been expecting for a lot of major shakeups to happen around the league, which should definitely be exciting for hockey fans. And if you feel like you need some extra excitement in your own life, then it's time to move for you as well, and rentals.ca has you covered. Rentals.ca is Canada's largest apartment hunting network. You can rent houses, apartments, condos, whatever it is, rentals.ca has you covered. From coast to coast, you can go straight to the rentals.ca website that's clean and easy to use and pinpoint exactly on the map where you want to move, and rentals.ca will find the best rental listings in your area. And once again, shout out to our friends at rentals.ca for coming back on board and sponsoring a video here on the channel. They're big hockey fans just like all of us here, so if you're looking to move, get a new apartment, a new condo, a new house, make sure to go check out rentals.ca down in the description and down in the pinned comment. But with that said, let's get right into the first topic of the video today, and that is Sens moving Chychrun. And as we take a look at TSN Insider, Darren Dreger, what he said on Twitter here, he said, "I'm sensing with the D market quickly shrinking, action around Jacob Chychrun has picked up. Doesn't mean that there's a deal to be made, but teams are likely thinking at least 2 playoff runs with him may be worth the asking price." And so far this season with Jacob, with the Ottawa Senators, Jacob Chychrun in 59 games has 31 points, 22 assists, 9 goals. Also has 100 blocks on the year as well with 50 hits. And as we know from Jacob Chychrun, this guy has been a phenomenal two-way defenseman in the NHL for his entire career. And I think that, moving him out, it could be an option we do see here at the trade deadline. I think it's a slim chance that we do see it happen, but I do think it is an option out there that teams are going to be calling and asking, hey, is he available and what is the price for him? And when you get he's a left-handed shot defenseman with such great two-way presence. He's great in his own zone. He blocks the shots. He lays the body, but he's also not afraid to shoot from the blue line. We see this guy ripping him from the blue line, looking for a tip. He's got a great shot from the blue line. Also a great passer, great distributor with the puck up the ice. He gets involved in the offense when he can, and I think he's a great player, and I think he's having a great season here in Ottawa. It's just unfortunate that the team is, a little bit struggling right now and trying to find their place in the league. But they did trade for this guy last year where they did give up multiple, I believe it was first-round picks to bring this guy in. So if you're shipping him out, I feel like you're going to want the same return in this situation. I believe probably the best trade option here for him I've seen from insiders here is maybe like a first-round pick, a higher-tier prospect, and maybe a veteran presence here could be an option we see maybe shipped into Ottawa if you're going after a guy like Jacob Chychrun, because, this guy is 25 years old, 2 years left on his contract, I believe at $4.6 million, so it is a little bit pricey, but he is worth the price of admission here. You get, for a contending team, you get 2 great playoff runs from this guy and then a potential extension. At 25 years of age, the ceiling for this guy is still growing. He still hasn't hit his full potential, so maybe you take the risk on this guy and really, maybe give up a little bit of your future. You're not really expecting to have good draft picks up in these coming years, so maybe you ship a draft pick out and a higher tier prospect here, and you could really get a deal done. And you're probably wondering what teams are going to be interested in Jacob Chychrun. There's a couple of teams on my mind that I really do think that could be involved here, and one of them is the Detroit Red Wings. I think they're probably looking for a number one top pairing defenseman on the left, or even a second pairing defenseman here on the left. He's a younger guy. He can grow with this team. Detroit's obviously looking to compete, and I think bringing in Chychrun to kind of shape up that power play unit could really help them, or even shape up their power play 2 unit could really help them. And I do think they have the assets here in higher tier prospects throughout their system and in first round draft picks to bring this guy in. The only situation is the cap, so they would would have to find a way to make that work. But I do think Arsman will be calling on this. I think this is a guy, if he does come available, that he will be actively looking at. Because I mean, this guy's a great defenseman. I think any contending team would want to have him for a playoff run. Another team that kind of strikes me here as someone that may be interested is the Islanders, a team that has kind of been struggling a little tiny bit, hasn't, got really in their groove. I mean, with Patty Waugh at the helm now, they have looked a little bit better, look like they're getting back into form, and I think maybe if you take a shot at the deadline of bringing in Jacob Chychrun to kind of, sew up that defensive pairings, I really do think this could be a great option. We do see as well. I think, the Islanders do have the assets to go after a guy like this, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do go in on this guy. I mean, there's a lot of speculation about the Leafs in on this guy, but I mean, with the cap situation they're in right now, I really don't think that this is a viable option for them at the moment. I think it would be a great trade for the Leafs, but I think, they're going to look for somebody that has a little bit more of a cap hit right now that they can kind of just bring in for, little to no, moving some players out of the lineup. But it will be interesting to see what happens with Jacob Chychrun here at the deadline. I know he has come out and said that he doesn't want to be traded, and all this is just speculation and stuff like this, which, I mean, at the end of the day, maybe there is nothing going on here, but there is insiders talking about it, so I thought I'd let you guys know. I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. What are your thoughts on a potential Jacob Chychrun trade? I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comment section, but we're going to get into the second topic of the video today, which is Leafs linked to Justin Holl trade, or Justin Holl. And as we take a look here from NHL Watcher, this is a quote from the Friedman on the 32 Thoughts podcast. He said, "Toronto is looking for a right shot defender. You know who's available?" And Jeff Merrick said, "Justin Holl, question mark?" And Friedman said, "Yup." So this is implying that we could potentially see a Justin Holl to Toronto trade. I know last season he was with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now with the Detroit Red Wings. Maybe Brad Treliving's seen something in this guy that, maybe if at the deadline they're still kind of looking for somebody, they could go after a guy like this. I mean, as you take a look at his stats here, he has kind of had a little bit of a struggle of a year here, still trying to find his role within this Detroit defensive pairings, but through 35 games, he does have 5 points, 5 assists, with 34 blocks, 51 hits. And last season with the Leafs actually had a pretty solid year, in my opinion, putting up 18 points. But as we know, Justin Holl is a great defensive defender. He's good at blocking the shots, good at laying the body, a good physical presence, kind of type of player that, Brad Treliving is kind of looking for. He's kind of trying to bring this big body, bone-crushing hit energy to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And as we take a look, he did just sign his contract this year with Steve Yzerman in Detroit at 3 years, 3.4 AAV. I know that does seem like a lot of money here that, the Leafs probably don't have, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. But this is what they say here. This is what Friedman said about if Justin Holl could go back to Toronto. Teams are looking to clear up some cap space, so Elliotte wonders if they could be looking at a goalie, even though they have 3 right now. So maybe Toronto could ship out one of their goalies to kind of make the cap work in this situation. And he does go on to say here, with this in mind, the Maple Leafs have Ilya Samsonov, who they could dangle to the Red Wings. More than likely, it would take giving up Martin Jones if a goaltender is in play. As of now, talks are preliminary between teams on Justin Holl. And I know that is a lot of information to kind of digest here. And I know a lot of you Leafs fans are probably down in the comment section already typing, "We don't want Justin Holl back in Toronto." But in my personal opinion, I think this guy got way too much hate last season. I think he was a solid defender. He did his job. He goes out there, he puts it all on the line, blocks his shots, lays the hits, a good, solid third pairing, maybe second pairing right shot defenseman here. The Leafs are looking for a righty at the defensive position, so maybe they do take a look at Justin Holl, send an offer in on him, and see what they can get. But in my opinion here, the only way that they make this work is trading Samsonov to bring this guy in. And I mean, this is where you got to think, would you rather have Justin Holl or Ilya Samsonov? I know that the Leafs are rocking 3 goalies right now: Joseph Woll, Martin Jones, and Ilya Samsonov. So maybe they're looking to get rid of them. Maybe they're looking to ride out the 3 goalies for the rest of the season. We don't know yet. That hasn't been clear. They said earlier that they were looking to stick with the 3 goaltenders as of right now, but that may change come deadline time. And it will be interesting to see what happens here with Toronto and Justin Holl. Sorry, but I mean, like I said, I think this guy got a bad rap during his time in Toronto. I thought he was a solid defender. He played great defensively, and he was a great pairing. He played with Giordano during times. He played with Riley during times. He also played with Brody at times. He was kind of all up and down this defensive pairings last season for Toronto, and I guess he did have like one of the better seasons of his career last year in Toronto. Regarding stat line, I think he put up great block numbers, great hit numbers for a third, second pairing defenseman. But the biggest thing here to worry about with the Justin Holl trade, sorry, Joseph Woll, Justin Holl are so close, is that, is the cap situation. Is $3.4 million. Maybe, they can get him in at retained. That might be the better option here. But if they're just looking to bring him in without retained salary here in this situation, you would have to give up an Ilya Samsonov, because I believe he's the only player that would be around the same cap hit that has a no-move clause. So I think that this could be the potential option we do see. But I want to hear from you guys, because I really do like this trade. The Leafs are obviously looking for a defenseman, and maybe they do take a look at Justin Holl here and, send an offer and see if they can get him. But I really do think they're going to be looking at other options as well. They're going to be looking at Ferraro. They're going to be looking at Walker. They're going to be looking at all these guys that we've talked about in these last couple of weeks that have been linked to the Toronto Maple Leafs. So this is just another name to add to that list, and I really do think that a right shot defenseman is going to land in Toronto come trade deadline, just a matter of who it is. But I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. What do you think about a potential Justin Holl trade to the Toronto Maple Leafs? Let me know down below. They're going to get everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Carl. He says, watching from Louisiana. Good job, boys. Keep it going. And shout out to you, Carl. Really appreciate your comment there. Much love from Newfoundland to you all the way down in Louisiana. I'm pretty sure we couldn't get farther away from each other, but shout out to you for enjoying the channel and supporting the channel. We love to see where all you guys are tuning in from. It's really fun to see. It's kind of crazy to me coming from such a small place here that, we're getting viewers from like Louisiana, Calgary, all over the place here. It's kind of crazy to me, but we love all your guys' support. I really appreciate where you've got us to here on the channel in just such a short amount of time. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road for 3,000 subscribers. We're like 40 subscribers away right now from hitting our goal. So if you're not subscribed, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. And once again, shout out to our friends at rentals.ca for coming on board for another video. And if you enjoyed the NHL, make sure to check out this video we did on the Leafs last night. It'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC. Keep your stick on the ice.